We'll go to Claire B., Jay Pennell, and Shannon.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. When you were talking about learning more than you knew there was to learn, which is really interesting because when you guys go back, how much you think it helps NASCAR now that, you know, Brian Deegan had a great finish as he's working his way in. Last week he finished 4th on his way into NASCAR. You know, Ricky Carmichael, when you guys go back and talk to the action sports guys, what do you say now? And how much has that changed about what you think about NASCAR?
I think it's kind of changed the perspective a little bit, especially when Ricky came in. Like I said before, you know, just it wasn't on a lot of radars of the action sports community. And now that you see a lot of people kind of watch it and giving it a little bit, I mean, everyone knows that, you know, to be at the top of any sport, it's very difficult. But you watch these guys that, you know, are very coordinated, can kind of do whatever. I mean, you know, Carmichael or, you know, any of the Deegan, they jump in anything, a go-kart, and they're, you know, they'll be the fastest at that track or then that given day. And it's very, I think, eye-opening to a lot of the guys to see that, you know, it did take the GOAT, the greatest of all time, you know, so long to get there. And I was actually thinking it was probably going to take longer, but he's, you know, it's just a matter of putting the time in and the effort. But that's not a guarantee that you're going to make it. And, you know, we got a long road ahead of us, but, you know, hopefully you'll see a lot more of the action sports guys, you know, bringing some of their the outside sponsors and the industry, and as well as the reputation of action sports, and saying, okay, you know, and really sticking with it, because that's the thing. I mean, if we all come in and we're like, oh, we can't do it, and we jump out, then that really doesn't do a lot of good for anybody. But if we're coming in and saying, okay, now with all these guys coming in, it's kind of a battle amongst ourselves as well. Like, I don't want to get beat by Deegan. Definitely don't want to get beat by, you know, Carmichael, and these guys are people that are, you know, and there's more guys that are coming in that are going to say the same thing. And I think this is really going to motivate us to, you know, to try to get up, you know, further and further and give us something to shoot for.
Jay Pennell with Front Stretch and All Left Turns. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but what are your realistic expectations, a timeline of where you'd like to be, you know, next year, the year after that? And then also, what's the response you've gotten from not necessarily you know, the fellow action stars, but the fans that you've built up throughout the years? You know, what kind of comments and reaction have you been getting from them jumping into NASCAR?
Sorry, what was the first part of that again? I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's apologize. Timeline's going to be, you know, it's not something that I'm setting, you know, goals. If we're making progress, we're on our timeline. Whether that's 2 years, 5 years, or 15 years, I want to make it to the top. And if as long as we're still making progress, and you know, we can keep the sponsorship, and you know, with Michael, it's been just amazing. I mean, the whole team is really rallied, and everybody's, you know, we're all really pumped. And you know, it's always easier when you have something that's new and interesting. You're like, okay, what's going to happen? And you know, there's going to be ups and downs. And yesterday was definitely a down for sure, but it was a huge learning experience. And you know, you step off the track and you're very disappointed. You're like, you know, I wanted to have this finish, I wanted to have this result, but in the end, this first year for me is a learning year. I need to figure out where I need to go. I need to figure out, you know, wherever we are, that's our starting point. And you know, obviously every racer hopes to just come in and be like, oh, that was easy, but that's not going to be the case. Yeah, fan reaction. It was really mixed at first. I mean, you know, anyone that says they wouldn't try it given an opportunity, or you know, they're lying to your face. But I mean, for the motocross industry, everyone's like, oh, what? You know, everyone just switching to roll cages or this and that. But you know, the more guys that are switching, the more they're realizing, I mean, what do you do at 30 years old? You're not going to be competitive in motocross. I mean, there's exceptions like John Dowden, but for the most part, you know, there's physical abuse on your body, and these are the most competitive people in the world. You know, any sport. If you're at the top of your sport, you live, you breathe, you eat, you sleep your sport. And they're guys that have been at the top, that know what it's like to be at the top, and they need that in their life. And there's nothing else that really compares to the sport of NASCAR as far as competition. So no matter what you've accomplished, this is where you want to go. And the crowd, whether they understand that initially or not, that's why you're seeing so many action sports guys come in. That's why you're seeing so many guys that want to be a part of NASCAR from all over, from all other genres. It's because it's the most competitive sport in the world, and they want to try their hand at that, because not because it's easy, not because they think they can make money. But most of them are coming with they already have bank accounts that would allow them to sit at home and do nothing. They're coming because it's the best competition in the world, and they want to be a part of that. At least that's why I'm over here.
You make your first, Shannon Spake, ESPN, sorry. You make your first nationwide start at ORP. It's going to be a busy week for you because you have X Games. Can you, maybe give us a little hint as to what we might be talking about, specifically maybe with your best trick when we get to ORP?
Yeah, best trick, I've pretty much decided it's this one trick or nothing. I mean, I could probably do a variation of a double backflip, and, you'd definitely be in the medals, if not the gold medal position. But for me, freestyle's always been about innovation. This year is definitely, it's been tough with with the Nitro Circus. We're filming a 3D movie with that. We're doing a Nitro Circus live tour. Still doing the freestyle. So it's been tough to get as much time as I would like, and I know that Michael and a lot of the guys at Waltrip would like in the car. But we knew this coming in. For me, the big focus until August is to make sure I got this trick to where I can land it, and I can land it healthy enough to be able to compete the rest of the season in NASCAR and not have any liabilities there. But it was basically a 720. It's 2 full rotations. One is basically rodeo 720 if you were to be on snowboards. Fortunately, it's on a motorcycle and it's a lot heavier and difficult.
Travis Bryan, Nelson Motor Racing Network. While all of the success that you've had in other forms of motorsport certainly thrust you immediately in front of the public eye and open a lot of sponsorship opportunities, and there's some good things associated with that, do you think that there's also a negative side, a dark side to that, because fans and other people, as you talked about, are expecting great things right out of the gate while you're trying to be patient?
Well, definitely, of course. I mean, I was talking about the ups and the downs in the first race. I didn't feel like we drove that well, but we stayed out of trouble and we ended up 6th. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is going to be great. You're going to be up front." And we've been in the wall the last 2 races, so it's frustrating for me. But I think definitely, when there's bad results, people are going to, I'm more in the limelight than someone that was just starting. It's very fortunate because I'm able to be a part of Waltrip Racing, that, I have good cars, I have good people, I have good crew, good guidance, good coaching, and, definitely there's no excuses on my end as far as why I wouldn't be up there. I mean, Brett was in a very similar car and ended up 2nd yesterday. So, there's definitely going to be a lot of criticism, and it really doesn't bother me that much as long as we get to the end result in the end. And where the end is, everyone's like, "What's your timeline? When do you think you'll be winning?" I have no idea. I don't know if we can get there, but we're going to give it our best shot. And if that's 5 years, if that's 10 years from now, like I said, that's what we're going to do. So hopefully in the end, I'm the one that's laughing, and that's where I'm going for now.
Other questions for Travis? Free and easy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.